Alrighty, so I may as well start building this just so I can see where I started from. I'm going to try and stream more regularly because honestly, I get a lot more done when I stream. Anyway, so what we have in front of us right now, just making sure this works. There we go, cool. What we've got in front of us now is a visualization for small unit tactics. What I've done so far with small unit tactics is go for a set of rules which dictate how weapons work using burst fire and stuff like that. So if you look at the profile for the assault rifle here, we've got a specific type of bullet damage, clip size that is expanded, and then 4 types of shot. So aimed, snap, burst, and automatic. And the idea is each of these have ambient suppression, so they'll modify how people are the target's aiming ability until they move. Also the amount of shots that are taken, so burst will actually get roll 3 times for damage, and each of these fire modes has a modifier. So crit modifiers go up with aimed, and with burst and automatic they are drastically reduced, so they only really work up close. But anyway, we'll run it up and we'll see how it goes from there. At this point, the game state technically works, but what's the best way to say this? The visualization is just not quite right, including sort of death animations. There's this weird bug where sometimes the shooter warps into a random space, so I need to figure out why that's happening. And also, I don't have a particularly good ticker over that shows the damage, so I need to fix that up as well. So I've got a few things to go, but before we do that, we'll just have a look at it and see where it's at right now. Mic volume? Okay, I'll raise that. How's that? Alright, anyway, let's run this up. Coolies. Alright, so anyway, let's run into this and we'll take a couple of shots and see how things work for at the moment. Uh-oh. Uncooked with DLC. Here we go. Uh-oh. That's fine. That was a bad move. Okay, so let's jump on over here and we'll take a shot. So you can see here we've got our different aiming types. So a snapshot has a crit bonus and an aim bonus, whereas burst has a aim penalty. And we'll take our shot. Looks like they all missed. Yeah. Just move up here, take a similar shot. So you can see here the ambient suppression. So we'll add another bit of that suppression in a moment. Alright, so we got some hits that time. 7 worth of damage, so if I look at the table. I haven't got the list of the amount of times it actually hit, but it's there. Alright, and take another shot. Why didn't the camera work that time around? Alright, so throw some Overwatch at this trooper. Sorry, some automatic fire at this trooper. Probably won't hit him at all. But now it means we can break out of his Overwatch. Oh, whoops, I stayed near that guy. Oh well. Alright, I'll see if I can get this guy. Just so I can get the death animation. Oh, that didn't kill. Alrighty, so just hop on around to the side here so that we've got a flank. Oh well. Alright, let's see if we can get a kill on this one. Alright, so first of all, the camera has a heart attack going into the animation. Then it fires alright. Sinks, and then it takes its kill at the end there. So it's better than it was, and this guy's still in the right spot, so possibly we're not doing too badly on that front. See if we can get a few more kills. A few good hits there. Alright. So part of this is, part of the mod is sort of a health inflation. So it makes things a lot easier to sort of compensate for the fact that there are lots of bullets flying around and stuff like that. Otherwise, yeah, there's just not enough granularity in the damage. Which means I'm going to have to basically go through all of the abilities that you can possibly use. and give them some sort of inflation cost, inflation damage or something like that. There we go. Okay, it's not doing too badly. Yeah, it'd be nice if that. Yeah, so those hits should project onto onto the player, but they don't. Okay. Alright, that'll do for now, and now need to sort out a few things. The first of which is going to be trying to figure out how to get apply weapon damage to unit as a visualization. So let's get stuck into that. Right, that's what's wrong. There we go. Okay, so apply a weapon damage to unit is something that would usually be applied. The action would usually play when we run apply weapon damage, which is all of these guys here. The problem with that is all of them get played separately, and yeah. So also most of this commit is on GitHub if you're interested, by the way. But anyway, so the finalize animation, essentially it goes through and gets all the contexts. Yeah, I mean, like Red Alert seems to work all right, so I'm not super worried about it. Like all the shots seem to have like sort of played okay. But yeah, the camera lookout's a bit weird and stuff like that. But I feel like all of these are sort of surmountable at this point. So unless this thing sort of dies in a heap and I end up sort of completely stuck, I'm just sort of got to keep running with it. Because game state wise, it actually works out all right. And like you can see, this one, like this is all the world effect tiles, and then you have the environment damage here, and they seem to work out all right. So in terms of animating the individual gunfire, that might be a bit tricky, but it's getting there. Anyway, so here I walk through each of the shot contexts and sort of get each sort of ability sort of fires off on them, and I use that to find the first history index as well, and that's necessary because you need to have a copy of the state before and after the ability. And that's how it determines whether there's a death animation or burning animation and stuff like that. Anyway, where am I going with this? So I need to apply weapon damage to unit. So yeah, that got this X2 action, apply weapon damage to unit. And what that does is it looks through the result context for a particular shot and does a bunch of stuff to it. Does a bunch of stuff to the object to determine sort of what it looks like, what the damage count is going to be. And the thing is that is before it actually visualizes, so I should be able to modify that on runtime, because none of this stuff is protected, which is good. Where does all this come from? Am I shredded? Am I mitigated? So yeah, here's where it executes, and it looks like am I shredded? These are just a bunch of numbers. Where are they all coming from? Here it is. Okay. So all these damage numbers are over here. So yeah, just having a read through to try and figure out how I'm going to use this directly. Because usually it would just calculate off the shot context and everything would be hunky-dory, but I gotta tell it what to think. How would I just try and run it with one hit context first? Alright, so I've got a list of shot contexts, but I probably want to collect some hit context too. So, hit contexts. Maybe an array. Oops, no, that's not what I want. And this contexts. Alright. So technically I won't need this boolean after this, but yeah. Alright, so we've got a fire action there. Wait for ability effect. Alright, well let's start off with, we'll can these. So instead of relying on this, X2 action apply weapon damage to unit. So instead, we're going to do that instead of this flyover, this custom flyover. We're going to leverage the standard one. And we'll just try and do it for the first hit or the first miss. So that would be the way X2 effect calls it. Let's try and do it without the originating effect, see if it crashes and burns or not. So that's target track. So if any hits false, we want first miss contexts. Okay, and if we do this, then we want the first hit context. I guess where I'm at with this is, if this works, then after we build it, then we have to just essentially jump in and mutate anything we need to. So that'll look something like us just modifying the state of it. I mean, if we wanted to do everything for us, maybe we make an apply weapon damage to unit for each of them, but then we need to pop them all off the stack to do that. So I might try and avoid that if I can. I wonder if I can instantiate this without doing this add to visualization track. I probably can. Yeah, I probably can. Just instantiate it and run it on it. Maybe. Alright, let's give this a try. Have a read while I'm waiting for it to do its thing. Didn't take long. Whoops. Alright, let's take some pot shots. Sorry about that. Alright. I'll actually watch and see if it worked. It's a shame. It's not visualizing. Well, it didn't get any of the shots in. There was a hit animation, there was no flyover. Wonder why that is. I want that visualization to be fixed as well, so it actually shows the target. That was a hit. Doesn't do anything. A lot of collateral damage. And that happened. All right. Okay. So we don't get a flyover, unfortunately. If the log's got anything to say for us. It's unfortunate there's no, in here, there's no issues. But there is one here. Accident thing none originating effect. So we do need an originating effect on it. That's fine. We can do that. So yeah, it's like, yes, this is an issue. I'm wondering if there are ways I can get around it, but for the moment I'm sort of just gonna live with it and see if I can just prove the gameplay process, because I still got to know if it's going to be a good idea if I start polishing it any further than this. I do wonder how else would be a better way to approach. Like, I mean, we talked about using more result context and stuff like that. Sorry, not more result context. More hit results in a single result context. But this one's probably simpler to implement in the first instance. Alright. So I need an originating effect, which is fine. I should be able to fetch that out. So the originating effect an effect, or is it a template? Oh good, it's an effect, so not an effect state. So it should be fairly straightforward for me to fetch that one out. give me some abilities. Way too many variables in here that I don't need, but just so that I can sort of keep track of what the hell I'm doing, I'm trying to keep the naming like this. Okay. So in this context. Ah, hell, I can use shot ability. Who am I kidding? I don't need shot ability kicking around. How many effects are on the ability template? Add shot type. Target effect 1, target effect 2, target effect 3. There's the suppression effect. There's no weapon damage. Ah, so singulars won't actually hit. That's unfortunate. Yeah, so single shots aren't working correctly at the moment because it's relying on this to do its thing. So I better fix that. So weapon damage is effect number 3. Just make sure it's the same thing on the follow shots. So on the follow shots, it's the first one. Yeah, so I should probably just check. Check is instance. Gotta remember how to do that now. Oh well. It's to effect apply weapon damage. There we go. So now we're issuing damage with it as well, so we can chain with it. And now it's okay that we've added weapon effect to the first shot. Righto. So now what I want to do is I want to iterate through each of the effects and only try and do stuff with the apply weapon damage one. Or maybe I do apply all of them. Would be nice if some of those effects did that, wouldn't they? Okay. Oh. Shot game state is associated state. Okay, so I only want to do this for the weapon damage. How do I check the effect? Class. No, I can. Weapon. UI tactical hard weapon. No, this one does a class check, so. If shot if that's the case, then do this. Originating effect equals so we'll try this out and try it on the miss context as well. Just see how this comes together. Alright, let's see if we make it crash and burn. Okay. Had a weapon damage effect issue. Because I didn't add this in. That's what I wanted to do. Alright. Here we go. hopefully we get some results from this. If this works, then next thing would be to try and stack up the remaining damage on it. I wouldn't mind a custom one eventually that looks better, because like with lots of different hits, I can either animate in each individual hit like original XCOM, but yeah, each of the taps will look a bit bad. So instead, what I'll be looking to do is maybe have it so that it shows each of the hit damage sort of amounts, possibly with some misses represented by dots or something, I don't know, or dashes. But that way you can sort of break down how successful each shot was without taking heaps of screen real estate. That's the idea anyway. Otherwise I'll just add them all together eventually. Like to start off with, I'll just add them all together, so it just at least shows exactly what the damage was with a single kick. But the other thing I have to deal with is the timing at the moment, because at the moment it's meant to, and this is the way apply weapon damage is meant to work, when the shot hits, there's supposed to be a listener that kicks off for that visualization, and I need to figure out what's going on with that visualization, because at the moment it waits until after the camera's pulled away, so things ain't working correctly there. Go away. Let's get rid of all that. We adjust that down, we shouldn't get that bug anymore. Hello. Alright, let's take a shot. Alright, that's a camera issue. Oh no. What the hell happened there? Oh no. Okay. That's interesting. Got this. How does that work? Because see, I didn't actually iterate over each of these to apply the visualization. I only iterated over the one. So how does it bank all those up? I mean, it just doesn't make sense that it's banked them up. You can see the panic event happening. Oh geez, that was a disastrous panic. Okay, so Yeah, technically, that's here. There we go. Okay. Let's do the burst fire. 2 critical hits. That's sort of alright. I was thinking it would end up mashing things up. I'm wondering why it's doing more than one. Not entirely sure of that. The 6 damage was from the environmental damage, not the not from the shooting. Alright, so all the misses coalesce into a single. Alright, someone shoots a bunch of fire at him. What's that? 240. High cover plus automatic fire, right? Okay, so now he's under high fire. We drop his drop his accuracy, and then we burst fire. Let me try a single snapshot and just make sure it's actually doing damage. I missed. Of course you did. I'll see if it hits. It looks like a promotion here. So what actually happened there? 3 to none. So that was aim shot, which hit. Success 52, crit 35. Alright, cool. Now let's get somewhere where we can take another shot. Okay, here we go. I just want to get some automatic shots to make sure the shot count is correct. Alright, we should be able to get that now. Burst fire. Alright, no hits. Okay, let's have a look. So we have a burst follow shot, burst shot, burst follow shot. Only 2 shots. Alright, so that's not enough. maybe rather than identifying the other bits and pieces. How about we try and figure out the timing? So on the target, we have a wait state. That wait state, wait for ability effect. And that uses shot context, but if context is what it's depending on, there might be an issue. So here's the target tracks, wait for wait context. Wait for ability effect. The question is where does all this information come from? How does it know that ability? Handle track message. Okay. Where's fire action? Send into track message, current history index. Okay, that matters. That must matter. So the first shot context is the one that is used there. So this waiter is probably needs to be the first shot context too. Where does it get the current history index from? Yeah, X2 action thing. Current history index, there we go. Cached history index from state change context. Get the history index of the viz block. Visualization track. There's the struct. is it a struct? That's the one. Okay. Yeah, okay. The visualization track doesn't care, but each individual action might have a context that it's listening to. Well, let's see. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Let's see if just changing those fixes up the timing. If it does, then we're good to go. Keep on going with other stuff. Nice to be building a small mod again. It's nice and quick. So if this works, we'll consider it progress. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to keep going for tonight. I don't really want to truck along till like 9:30. So. There we go. This game is very pretty. It's been a while. Alright, let's see what happens. Where's the none for shot contacts? Fortunately, the timing's off. Here's the null. I don't need it anyway. Howdy. How many hits did we get there? Fire increment. Shots max found. Shooting down. Okay. So we've got burst follow shot 1, burst follow shot 2, burst shot 3. So this one was a miss, hit, crit. Ah, yeah, okay. So we did plenty of damage there. And the actual change was 12 to 5. Yeah, that makes sense. So we have 4 damage there. Plus another 3 damage, 12 to 5. Four damage plus 3. So that should be 7. Yeah, 12 to 5. Yep. So that's all the numbers add up now, which is good. Well, that one didn't lose itself too much. It could have been worse. The timing wasn't completely off. At least they're using burst shot. That's cool. That's the promotion as expected. Be nice if that actually hit. Maybe one of the first hit contacts needs to lead the charge there. That's an odd one too. See, that was a shot. Probably hit, but the whole thing just lost itself. Out of bounds. That's one of the things, is like it needs to be allowed to keep going. I thought I'd quash that bug because I added so like all the subsequent shots can shoot at dead targets, but maybe it didn't work. Okay, well, I'm not happy with it, but probably come back and try and tidy it up some. I want to sort of press on to testing my gameplay ideas. So what I'll probably do next time around is I want to get all pods active, and I want to sort of balance some of the weapons so that they're good to start using against things. So there'll need to be a point inflation for some abilities too, like the grenades and all that sort of stuff. All those damages will need to be inflated to compensate for the fact that everyone's got inflated health. Yeah, I think that'll do. I need to think some more about how this comes together. It's a very rickety system as it stands. What did I even change today? Stop that. Might just have a little bit more of a read here. How does it know? That's the thing, I want to know how it gets from here to there. Where was it again? Track message. Handle track message. Notify target's ability applied. History index equals current history coming from end move. Do notify target ability applied with multiple hit locations. Okay, so here's some dramas we've got. And then we've got the projectile hit here. Send into track message. Let's have a look at that function. That's not what I wanted. Wait. Go big. Visualization manager. Send enter track message. It's native. Who's is track actors match the specified state object reference. History index can be specified to narrow the receiver down to a specific visualization block in situations where there is more than one active block. Okay, and this one uses the current history index. Current history index comes from some sort of init function which already has a super, so we'll get x2 action to pray tell how that's supposed to work. There we go. So it is based on this context from create visualization action class, create visualization action, which gives it a spawn context. So in theory this should have worked, I think. We've got a target track, shot context 0, and we're doing the same for here. It's sort of like first hit context, really. It's unfortunate all this stuff is all over the place. All these contexts I'm giving it. Wonder if there's anything better I can do there. More than one active block. One active track actor. But I think what we're going to find is that if we use shot context, we're probably off, because when we do the track, we're giving it an old state and a new state. So maybe it's getting its information from somewhere else. Block history index. The history index that this block was originally created for. Following creation actions can be shuffled around to different visualization blocks, but this value will always point to the original. Okay, so block history index. I care about this because block history index. Because if this is off, then the track won't match. Must be set locally. Sorry, natively. So I'm gonna give this target track some things to think about, and then we add to visualization track. To action. So it doesn't set the track. So in track actions, add item. Does it modify in track at all? I wonder if the debugger will give me that information actually. I can debug this. It's easier. Alright, so I'll just get target track. What is it? Block history index? Target track. Block. These are off the line, and I believe they'll disagree. And I might just get the I'll get the history index for the first shot as well, which is here. Log first shot history index. If all this is off, then we might have our culprit. Yeah, let's try this before we tap out. Alright, this will be the last try for tonight. If you don't work, I will wrap it up there. If it does work, I'll wrap it up there too. But anyway, let's take a look. sod it. Hmm. If both of them are 0, doesn't really help me. So which one does it use? Okay, I'm gonna need to drop more than this to figure out what's going on. Okay. Alright, well, that'll be our next adventure. For this, might do some sort of cheap and cheerful stuff. I want to activate all pods. I want to make an ability for surveying the environment and give you a bit more view distance and stuff like that. So I might throw that in. Hopefully that stuff will be cheap, because either it's been done before, it should be straightforward to do. And then we'll go from there. Alright, that'll do for me tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm going to try and stream more regularly. I get away, even when I have got the kids for the night, I can usually get away for maybe an hour or so with the headphones off and try and get little bits and pieces done. Unfortunately, this is a big project. I need to get it to a certain point before I feel comfortable collaborating with others, so it just takes a long time to get to where I want to go. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.